What's going on, everybody? We have a little bit of a different episode today. This is going to be basically a preview of when I have one of these guys on. Chris is actually a guy that I know. He's one of the guys in this audio clip. I want you to picture basically three buddies out looking for elk in Oregon. I've been holding on to this clip for about a year, and I believe this was last season this happened. And you're surrounded by wolves, and one of your flashlights is dead, and the wolves are very, very, very close to you. And you're looking at the eyeballs with the flashlights, and you basically have to give your buddy your pistol as you replace the batteries in your flashlight, so you're basically blind. It's like something out of a horror movie. But I'm going to have Chris on at a later date, and we're going to talk about this. And I've been waiting for the right time to, I guess, to use this. And the right time, meaning, middle of hunting season, I need the content. Chris is available, just trying to work it out. And I think we just need to upload it, and then me and Chris will try and get together at a later date. We'll talk about it, kind of get a better idea of what happened, a more detailed story. But it's just like something out of a horror movie. I want to make it very clear. They say it in the video, but I want to make it very clear right now. No wolves were injured or shot. These were all warning shots. The shots really didn't work, it sounds like. Maybe towards the end when they fired those last two shots, the wolves kind of got the hint, but they wouldn't stop harassing the hunters. And we're talking sub 25 yards at some points. What do you do? And so as you'll hear, one of them climbed a tree, two of them went back to back, and just tried basically fending off a pack of wolves. And this was, again, in Oregon. So I'll go ahead and play the audio clip. It's just about 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And this is going to basically preface a episode that I do with Chris at a later date. But, encounters like these need to be documented. They need to be turned in. And they need to be considered by wildlife agencies when making decisions, and even people that are voting on issues. When you're transplanting wolves, or you're letting wolves come back in certain areas, especially in areas that people are recreating in, things like these, instances like these are going to happen. And as the wolves become more populated, the frequency is going to go up, and the severity eventually will go up. Look at cougars. 1994 in Oregon, we can't hound hunt them anymore, and now we have over double. I would actually say probably close to triple, but over double the population of cougars that was at management objectives in the early 2000s. And it's absolutely insane now how many cougars and human interactions you're seeing across the Northwest and in other states, but even Oregon. I mean, it's crazy. Somebody was killed on a bicycle in Washington. And it's just a lot of these laws and anti-predator hunting and anti-hunting regulations, you can really honestly start to see the problems with them when it comes to human and animal, specifically predator interactions and conflicts. And like I said, the severity has been there. We've had lots of deaths. We've had lots of grizzly maulings, grizzly deaths. Folks that are just out hiking or biking or whatever it may be. Just the other day, a mom had to pull a kid away from a cougar out of her own freaking yard. And it's just insane. So, great time for this video. I felt like it was very good timing, because we have all these things happening with predators, and all the anti-legislation that's going on nowadays. You can point your finger at something like this and say, we should do something. We need to do something. This is getting a little bit out of control. We're hitting management objectives, but yet they're changing the way that we hit the management objectives. We're playing semantics basically with the objectives here, breeding pairs, all this other stuff. It just doesn't make sense. The numbers are skewed. We have more wolves than what they say we do. At least when we introduced them in other states, I think it was Montana, they said we have X amount of wolves that we know about. We anticipate that we have 10 to 25% more than what we counted. we don't get those numbers out of Oregon, and so we get what they have actually counted, and it's just really frustrating. And I'm part of the wolf updates. My phone's been going off quite a bit lately with depredation, and they had to kill 3 wolves out of a spot for depredation on cows. And this is after tons and tons of efforts and non-lethal measures being taken. The wolves just weren't getting the clue. They were like the wolves here. You shot a few warning shots, and they just basically weren't even phased. They were just right back in on you. And so, yeah, I mean, it's you guys can listen to it. I know I'm interjecting a lot of opinion here, but this is very opinionated. This is such an opinionated topic that everybody has an opinion. Everybody, has their own points of view on it. And I try. We did a wolf podcast a while ago, and I tried to be straight down the line. What are the actual facts? I don't think a lot of guys probably like that podcast because when I dug into the facts, there was a lot of misconceptions among the hunter community with the wolves that we have versus the wolves that we had back then. It's just there's a lot of history here with wolves. It's a hot topic, and something needs to be done. And wolves are trying to delist the wolves again, or list the wolves again. Excuse me. And it's just if it's not one thing, it's another. So again, guys, hopefully you can listen to this. It's definitely a different episode, but it's definitely worth listening to. And I really challenge you. These guys. They did the right thing. They didn't shoot the wolves. They didn't shoot them. They didn't injure them. They protected themselves from harm while making it out to the truck. And I believe if again, I'm going to get a lot of the facts when I talk to Chris on the podcast here. They were about a mile from the truck when this happened, and the wolves followed them back most of the way. And so to me, that's super aggressive behavior. That's unacceptable. They're not even afraid of gunshots, and so this is where we're at. And this is a very, very well hunted unit, very populated hunted unit in this spot in Oregon. And so I doubt they're the only ones that came across this, but hopefully something happens. Hopefully people wake up, especially ones that aren't even hunters, that just recreate and hike. These conflicts are going to go up. More frequency, and the severity is, with frequency comes severity. Eventually, if you have a lot of instances, one of those instances is going to end really bad. We talk about that in my job all the time. Frequency leads to severity. Well, something bad is going to happen. It could be a year, it could be 2 years, it could be 5 years, who knows? But this is going to end up bad for somebody eventually, and it was just lucky enough that 2 out of the 3 guys had guns. Me and Brad Powell were hunting out the other day for cougar, or for elk. I killed an elk. Cougar claimed my bull, and neither of us had a gun. How stupid of us not to have a gun. Yes, I know. But we got false charged. Brad got false charged by that cougar up to about 15 yards. Could barely see it because it was so thick. But those instances, that's one of my own personal instances. You can go see the video on Instagram. We kind of documented the whole thing the best we could. But those are increasing, and more animals, predators are being shot just because there's so many of them out there that the conflicts, like I said, the frequency of them running into hunters is going up. Well, thank God we can shoot cougars. We can't shoot wolves, and so like I said, there's really no end in sight. It's only going to get worse. I don't want to be a doomsdayer here, but that's what we're looking at, and that's where it's going. So outside of that, I will let you guys listen to this, and I will see you at the end.
Did you hear him at all? Or were you back at camp?
We're ready.
You didn't hear him?
Well, we heard what we thought were coyotes in the prairie.
These do not sound like coyotes.
No, I know. I've heard wolves in the wild before, but I've never heard them here.
Oh, shit. I'd never heard him, and when I heard him, I was on elk, dude. I had a spike in front of me at 50 yards, 55 yards maybe. There was a cow.
Okay.
Well, where do we want to start this thing?
Start it right. Well Eric and I were on damn good sign.
We were on. Yeah. We were over by the pond.
We were fell out of an ass.
Yeah, we were skirting the edge
of the pond.
the north side. No, the north side of that where it drops off.
Yeah.
near the pond. We're skirting the edge because it looked good. There was fresh sign going down in there. And so we get to the pond, and I drop down. I go to the bottom of that dip. I'm heading east towards that knob, or towards that clearing that you saw that bull on.
Yeah.
So I go down. There's game trails all down through there.
Dude, that's right where I was today.
Oh, fuck. And I
all by myself.
Oh, shit, dude. You're right in there.
Fuck.
Right? And I went up to the clearing, like where the bull was. But I was, same thing. I was skirting that north edge, and I thought, man, there's got to be something in here. And it was just getting dark. It was like 6:30,
Yeah,
6:45.
you were like, they should be coming out.
Yep. And then I spotted a spike feeding up east of that clearing.
So when you saw elk is exactly when
yeah, because I got on the phone. I was like, Chris, I'm on elk, and there was a spike, there was a cow, and they were feeding. They had no idea I was there because I was super slow creeping.
Nice.
And so I'm like, I'm gonna make.
And they're out in the open.
No, well, they were just on the edge of the timber coming out to feed. Yeah, into that north side clearing.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna make a move on them, and I go to Chris. I'm like, there's elk, and he responds back, I'm on elk too. And then he's like, don't talk on the radio. And then, so then I said something else. And he's like, I just fucking shot at a bull. He's coming your way. He's coming your way. And I'm like, fuck. And I'm on this spike, like trying to make a move. And all of a sudden, I hear this, and then and then the spike and the cow, they bolted.
Yeah.
I heard the fucking wolves, and they bolted. And so I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, damn, that was close. Like, where the... And I get on the phone. I'm like, man, did you hear those wolves? And Chris is like, I go,
yeah, they're
right here around me.
All around me.
And I'm like, what do you mean? Like 50 yards or how close? And he's like, all I heard on the radio was 5 yards. And I'm like, fuck, 5 yards?
But I was saying 25 yards.
25
oh my god.
But still.
Something
was
in
that?
the trees left.
Deer, elk, deer. No, that might be an elk, but you see him? We passed him.
Yeah.
So, and...
But
so,
what? Yeah, go ahead. Or should I jump in?
Well, that's when Chris... Hang on, let me get my little recorder going.
I'm already recording.
Oh, you got it.
I got the whole story going.
That's when Chris jumps in.
So, he left me on the log by the pond.
Okay.
And Sonny was back. He was going to be at the tree stand where the bikes are, but then he climbed up to the clearing because there was a little blind there, and he's sitting in the blind. I didn't know where Sonny was at the time.
And there's a bunch of little patchy clearings all through there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And so I'm sitting on that log, and I'm thinking, dude, we got to start making a play on something, you know? And just then I hear a big stick break, just kaboom! So I'm thinking, and that's between me and Sonny.
Yeah.
Off to my right, Eric's off to my left.
West
And so I'm like, well, forget this. We got to make a play on something. I'm just going to push at Sonny, hoping I can just jump something like Eric and I did, run by, Sonny can whack him. So I get up, and I'm walking, and there's like just a little thin strip of Christmas trees. I get up to those, and it's just elk. Hardcore smell.
Oh,
just like I'm just sniffing one point blank. And so I'm like, dude, they are right here. And then I hear like pitter patters, and then I hear kaboom, kaboom, kaboom. Not like when Eric and I jumped him yesterday, or jumped one of them. This one's more running, but not
bounding.
Not like holy crap, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm just like, okay, they're coming up out of the trees. So I stand up, and I'm waiting, and he pops up from my left to my right, but almost coming right at me.
Yeah.
And so I start to draw, and he just locks him up, and he's looking at me.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of out in this little open.
Yeah.
I got trees 10 feet to my left, 10 feet to my right, so I'm not really hidden. And I'm at half draw on him.
Yeah.
And then he stops, and I can still hear behind him. And he turns broadside, looking to my right. And so I go full draw, and then he looks back over, and he does that crouch like I'm going.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, I gotta shoot. And swoom, I guessed 50 yards. Shot. He took off.
Did you go under, over? What do you?
I think I went right in front of his neck.
Okay.
Because when we were shooting the other day, I was like 6 inches off at like 40 yards.
Okay.
So I think I went right under his neck. And pretty safe to say that I definitely missed him.
Yeah.
Anyways, he took off, and then 5 seconds later, they just started going nuts. And the wolves.
freaking
And so I'm like,
wide
well,
open.
crap. And they were off to my right by that time. So it's like they stayed in the trees right behind him, and then he took off, and then they started howling again. And
Dude, he would have had a better death if you shot him.
yeah.
Well,
So-
he's alive though, because you
Yeah,
got
probably.
you got distracted. You distracted the wolves.
So
he probably
then
got away.
I'm like, well, crap, I got to get to Sunny. And so I start trying to navigate to Sunny, and my rhino's just spinning. And so I'm crashing through trees to get to him. Then here's a little opening, half a basketball court. Nope, he's over this way. So I keep going. Finally, we're whistling back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
He crashes through
Guns
trees.
drawn?
No.
Yeah.
I could still hear him around me. And this is when Eric was like, did you hear the wolves? And I'm like, yeah. Because I could still hear him. Like around me, you know? Not like a deer. Almost like you're walking with a dog out in the woods.
Yeah.
And, but they weren't running. They were just kind of right there with me.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I'm in the middle of that little field and they're on the edges. So finally I get to Sunny. Sunny comes through the trees, and I'm going, we got to turn around. Eric's that way through those trees. We got to crash through those trees. We get right up to the tree line. I see a flash of something. Fuck. From here to the back of Eric's truck. Now.
Ugh.
It was 15 yards.
Ugh.
And then Sunny goes, oh shit, there's a wolf. And I'm like, where?
White wolf.
Yeah, it was a white wolf.
It's the white wolf. It's the white wolf. You saw a fucking wolf.
Yeah, and so I circle back around him.
It
It
was
gets- it
fucking
gets-
trying
it
to.
gets
They were trying
better.
to kill us.
It gets better.
Yeah, I circle back around him, and he goes, "Should I shoot? Should I shoot?" And then he's just right there, like right there at the damn heater.
Yeah.
And so Sonny, pow, shoots.
I didn't shoot at it, Andy.
Yeah. So now you take over.
Yeah, so I didn't shoot at it, but I was like, I'm shooting just to get it, to get them fucking away from us. I shoot, and the fucker just went, circled right back and came right at us again. Teeth bared?
No,
No.
I didn't see teeth.
No, I didn't see teeth, but he just circled around and just came right at us. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
So then we're like, where the hell do we go? Well, then my headlamp's going, pew.
tight.
Yeah. So I give him my gun. He's got dual wielding guns here. I'm swapping out batteries like crazy.
Yeah.
Then it's like, okay, we got to go to Eric, but we got to go through that wolf to get to Eric.
And I'm on the other side of that ditch, on that side hill of that baldy, and I'm hearing what's happening. Yeah, he shoots,
You're like, holy shit.
and I'm like, I'm what I think is just a couple hundred yards from them, and I back up into the clearing of that hill because I'm like, I got to see around me, and then I see eyes, and I got no gun. I'm standing there with an arrow, and I'm trying to get on the phone. I'm like, how close are you guys? They're like, don't talk right now. Don't talk right now.
So we were
just trying
in
to,
trees,
we got
yeah.
wolves all around us. There was like several circling them the whole time.
You could hear it the whole time. They're
So
all the way around us.
They were
these
stalking.
encounters need to be reported.
Yeah, for sure.
And so
Probably,
anyways,
even tonight.
so we
I
crash
think so.
through there, right?
Yeah.
And then we get out to another opening, and then I finally pull out, and I'm like, okay, we either got to crash through these trees or we got to go all the way around. Forget it. Let's just crash through. And we could still hear them, like just bouncing and hopping with us. We get through those trees. They're still with us. We see another flash of another one come in front of us.
Oh my god.
We get to the
And
pond.
it's like pitch black?
pitch black.
Oh.
And we're crashing through.
No, thank you.
When we have to crash through trees, I mean, it is
Yeah,
crashing
yeah.
through trees. And we're hearing them, and we're searching like that. We were tactical, dude. We were back to back. And then Eric's coming on the radio because he's freaking out.
I'm like, dude,
And then
how
when he would
close
come
are you?
on-
And I just wanted to ballpark. Am I waiting 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20
Yeah,
minutes? Like,
yeah.
they're like, fuck, dude, just don't talk. We got wolves. And I'm like, I got wolf. I got something looking at me,
Yeah.
and I don't have a gun. You guys got fucking guns. Like, what am I going to
my
do? So I backed up into that big, huge clearing
Yep.
that's further up the hill. I found the biggest tree I could find in the middle, and I climbed the fucker to about 10 feet up. And I'm like,
Nice.
if I gotta, if they're coming after me, I need to see because it was
Yeah.
about 100 yards radius.
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't think wolves climb trees, so if they're gonna come up, I'm gonna stab them with my broadhead or my Benchmade, man. I had it out. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
So we get up to the pond. We're coming up the left side of the pond.
Yeah.
And over here I hear like running to the front of us. So they like two of them passed us, and I'm telling Sonny, over there. So we're looking over there, And this is where it's freaky because it's almost like they passed us and they were going to come around the front. So we get up there to where you could see where you saw that bull, and we knew we had to cross through to get Eric, but we couldn't see a path. So we took off to the left a little bit, and we started to go down. We get to the bottom, and I turn around to look at Sonny, and there's 2 eyes maybe 10 yards behind him. And I just go, I'm shooting 2 times. Eric, I'm shooting. Boom! Boom! And then we hauled ass up, and I don't think we ever heard him again after I shot.
Jesus Christ.
Or maybe we did, but by the time we got to Eric, we were out in the open, and
Yeah.
Well, I think that area is blown out now.
it was crazy.
All right, guys. So, pretty crazy. You could hear it in their voice how scared and how excited they were, and just all the adrenaline dumping out of their systems. You could just hear it in their voice. And I mean, back when Brad and I just a couple weeks ago, we had that cougar in on us, and it was so aggressive. I mean, I think we actually probably got lucky that neither of us actually did get fully charged, because that thing did not want to give up my bull, and if it wasn't so thick, we probably would have got an arrow in it. But it's just insane. I mean, you have really no self-defense if you have a bow. Stuff happens way too quick. You would never have had time to draw your bow in our instance. These guys had pistols, and if you take a shot and you actually hit one or you kill one, your life changed forever. You're probably going to jail. You're probably getting fines. People are going to call you a poacher or whatever for defending yourself. And so it's just really insane. And I think these guys played their cards right. I'm glad to hear that all of them made it home safely. None of the wolves were wounded. I'm glad to hear that, only because I'm conscious of what would have happened to the hunters in that situation. It's really a shame that, you know, people are going to value the life of a wolf that was antagonizing a person, that was not looking for a wolf, that was not looking to get an encounter, that was doing everything right, going out, buying tags, buying the license, hunting legally, ethically, and then basically all but getting attacked by wolves. You know, it's a shame that if they would have had to have defended themselves for their lives, they would have had to have defended their lives again in the public, in court, and it just would have been crazy nasty. And you know, their lives would have been changed forever. You know, it's crazy. It sounds like we're talking about shooting a person in self-defense, but shooting a wolf in self-defense is actually probably worse. You know, wolves have the best PR agents in the freaking world. I believe that 100%. It is insane. But outside of that, guys, I appreciate you listening. We're definitely going to get Chris on here. And again, thank you, Chris, for sharing the audio. And I will see you guys on the next one. I'm actually heading to Wyoming tomorrow morning for antelope for maybe a week or more. I don't know. And can't wait to show you guys what kind of content we get from that. I'm really looking forward to spending time with my dad and my uncle. It's the first time all three of us have ever hunted together, and we're doing it out of state in the state of Wyoming. So, all right, guys, good luck to all of you. Stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.